Oh, am I supposed to pay
And
attention?
we are back. Thank you all so much for your patience. We are here with Metroid Zero Mission. We've got some fantastic people here to help out with that run. But quickly before that happens, I would like to make a little bit of a fanfare, a little bit of celebration, as we have successfully reached the goal in Axiom Verge 2 for all urns. We've still got a lot of other great incentives that we are trying to reach as well, such as the hard mode and all bosses in Axiom Verge 1, which is about $80 away. We've got the $50 incentive for Signa Sea Shanty and Inscription, which that'll be fun too. And then in Castlevania Order of Ecclesia, we've got the hard rando logic. So there's a lot of very exciting incentives that I would love to see us meet, and that can only be done through the help of you fantastic viewers and your donations. With that all said, I will let you all take the wheel.
Hi everyone, I am metroidmaster, and tonight we're going to be running some Metroid Zero Mission any percent normal. Real quick, I will go ahead and introduce my commentator, if you would like to introduce yourself.
Sure, this is Matsudeno, and my entire qualifications for this game is that I've seen it run a few times. Let's go.
Alright, so without further ado, any percent normal, we will be beginning in 3, 2, 1... Let's rock! Alright, so Metroid Zero Mission is a near faithful recreation of the NES Metroid, but in Metroid Fusion's engine, or at least a modification of it. We will be seeing a lot of ground-based movement. Samus moves faster on the ground than she does in the air, and we are going to just start off going left instead of right. And we're just going to go get our morph balls, so we can turn into a ball.
Yeah, one of those modifications from the engine is that Samus is a bit heavier in Zero Mission than she is in Fusion, so she kind of falls like a lead rock or a stone or, I don't know, something else equally heavy. And it means that all the horizontal movement that you're going to see is going to prioritize staying on the ground as much as possible.
Yep, Samus moves about half speed in the air. Yeah, she moves half as fast horizontally when she's in the air. Coming up in this next room, so this little statue's gonna point us out where it wants us to go. We're not exactly gonna go there. And coming up in this next room here is the Brinstar Climb. This is a heavy reset point for a lot of the top level any percent runners. I basically need to precisely platform here. I want to do my jumps at just the right height to where I can just immediately jump again. Also, a nice change from Metroid Fusion is that we can single wall jump.
Makes the vertical escalations a lot more forgiving if you are a casual or just starting on a speed run.
Yep. And we just got a little developer-intended shortcut that skips the long beam, so we will not be picking that up, and we will just have a short beam. I've now just picked up a missile tank. Missiles are going to be our main source of damage in this run.
Yeah, by the end of it, I think we're going to be getting 50 missiles and 6 super missiles. Is that about right?
Alright, and I'm going to try for a double hit here on the Brinstar Worm. Sadly did not get it, but I got a fast pattern, so we do not lose a whole lot of time. If I were able to jump up and overlap my missiles on each other, I can get 2 hits on the eye of the worm and skip a cycle, which saves me a bit of time. I now have my charge beam, which we won't be using a whole lot, but it is useful in that if I somersault into an enemy while having a charge beam, I can damage it, which allows me to keep moving. As you can see, I destroyed a couple of enemies with that spin attack. Helps keep this room with the bugs a little more consistent. I don't have to get hit by them. Coming up, we have a hive room with these 3 bug hives. They take 3 missiles and 2 beam shots to defeat.
And normally this room is a lot easier with the long beam, but, you know, that's not what we're doing here.
We take a little damage boost here to lure the bugs away. Nice and smooth. Let's go. Gonna pick up another missile tank here. And then we're gonna pick up our first of 3 energy tanks. We do not pick up a whole bunch of these in this run.
It's a 3 tank. We're gonna need, yeah, three pickups total, and most of them are for face tanking damage on Ridley.
Whoops. Missed my missile on the zoomer here. Not a big deal. Just a little detour. And now we're going to go ahead and pick up our next ability, which will be our bombs. We have a little explanation on how the bombs work in Metroid Zero Mission.
Yeah, so the bombs are on a faster timer than they are on Fusion. And we do get the ability to do some infinite bomb jumps, but I think we'll only be seeing that once, maybe twice, if things don't go exactly our way.
And we have the infamous bug room. I have to destroy all of these bugs with bombs. Thankfully, they were out pretty quick. Sometimes the bugs like to stay up in that little alcove, and I have to wait for them to come down, so a little bit of RNG to have to deal with. Now we're gonna go ahead and make our way down to Norfair. If our lovely host has any messages for us, now would be a fantastic time.
I indeedly do. There was a donation a little bit ago that was the one that helped us reach that incentive from Desulation. With the comment, all earns reverse emergence. So that's the one that helped us reach that incentive. So many thanks to Desulation. Also fantastic run. It was so fun to watch. I would also I would like to let everybody know that Slurpathon is raising money for Extra Life, which raises funds for the Children's Miracle Network hospitals. Proceeds go to the Alberta Children's Hospital Foundation. And as well as that, it's also worth noting that all funds that go to the Alberta Children's Hospital go there as unrestricted funds. This means the hospital decides where and how to spend the money to ensure the dollars raised make the biggest impact possible.
I think we're being spied on here.
Oh, no, you're probably... I think that's just a fan who's just noticed you.
Oh. Alright, so now we're down in Norfair. This is basically kind of the big, like, lava area of the game. We're not going to be in here super long. We have to make a little detour to another area to pick up a couple items that we will absolutely need later.
One of my favorite things about Metroid games, Zero Mission is no exception, is that this is a game that has a very low skill floor and an extremely high skill ceiling. You'll see a lot of little micro movements or little adjustments that metroidmaster is making in the name of optimizing little rooms. It's one of those games where little changes make a lot of difference over the course of the run.
Alright, and we just picked up an unknown item, but chat, if you want to make guesses as to what that is, feel free to in the chat or in your donations, even better. Gotta pick up another missile tank here. Also, you might notice that we are playing on the Japanese version of this game. The Japanese version is just a couple seconds faster than English, so you could run this game on English and still be fairly competitive, but Japanese is usually the way to go. Now we're going to pick up our next item, the Power Grip, which lets us grab onto corners and ledges. This is actually a hard required item, as there is a vine in Norfair that blocks my path until I grab it.
Yeah, it's not even necessarily... could you get the run done without this exact feature? Maybe. Sorry. Some infinite bombs.
Is faster than having
Flawless.
to wall jump up or climb the platforms.
You can still do a wall climb up the side if that's failed, but we go for swag here.
You can do the wall jump climb, but you still have to wait for the platforms to raise up, which is still slower. Alright, and back into Norfair we go. We're going to pick up another couple things in Norfair, and then we're going to go ahead and make our way to Ridley. Yes, this is actually a reverse boss order run. Technically.
So one of the item that we're grabbing next is Ice Beam, and that will be an extremely powerful asset for a lot of reasons, for platforming, and it's just really effective against a lot of enemies.
is also another hard required item in this game. Funny enough, there's technically only 9 items that you need to beat the game. You can beat this game with a 9% item completion.
Yeah, if you're good at it. For someone like me, I might need somewhere closer to like 90, 95, 96%.
And there is our ice beam.
Ooh. Would you be willing to share a little bit of your history with this game?
So I have been running Metroid Zero Mission for probably a little over 10 years now. I got into this as like one of my first speed games. I technically got introduced into speedrunning from Metroid Fusion with trying to get certain endings. I'll explain when I can get to a spot where I don't have a whole lot to pay attention. It is a little difficult to talk and play this game well at the same time.
Yeah, that jump around the statue is a developer-intended shortcut. It's not supposed to be the most obvious way, but it is very useful.
Now we're getting to a big developer-intended shortcut here. So this little area here allows me to get into the lower part of Norfair, which then gets me access to Ridley's Lair. Alright, so we got a little bit of a tunnel here. We're going to be shooting a bunch of these vines and then picking up missile drops as we run. I would like to have... Alright, 24 missiles is a pretty decent count. We're coming up on another mini-boss called the Imago Cocoon. The cocoon here has these vines on the side that take 3 missiles each to destroy. Good drops. And we're going to use some single wall jump strats here to break the other vines before the Ripper comes across. And now we are going to head our way into Ridley. So my history with running the Metroid games, back when I was a wee lad playing Metroid Fusion, my best friend and I used to kind of compete with each other when it came to Fusion. I ended up picking the game up after he did when I finally got my own Game Boy Advance. He was the first to get the 100%. I was the first one to beat the game in under 2 hours in-game time, but between the two of us, we weren't able to get that 100% in under 2 hours ending. So I, having access to the internet as a little kid, went to search, hey, how do you get 100% in under 2 hours? And ended up running into Speed Demo's archive and fell down the speedrunning rabbit hole from there. After I graduated high school and had started college, I wanted to get into streaming after seeing stuff like the Speed Gamers doing their marathons for charity and GDQ. So I ended up getting my own capture card, was running off an old laptop and a webcam to do my sound audio. And I found the Zero Mission speedrunning community. Alright, so here I needed to have as much health as possible because I was going to be damage boosting through these side hopper rooms. And now I've picked up my first super missile tank. We are going to grab 3 of these, but the last one will not be until near endgame. As you can see, I do not have my various suits, so these side hoppers hit like runaway dump trucks. Excuse me, sir. Do not mind the low health, we will be okay. However, for safety, I'm going to destroy a couple more of those enemies there.
It is an interesting time to talk about drops, though.
Indeed.
So, like a lot of other Metroid games, this will prioritize health if you are low on health, and if you have full health, it will prioritize missile drops over dropping health. It is not completely immune, so if you are full health, it's not that it won't drop health, and super missile drops are, I think, at 10%, regardless of your missile count and health. Mm-hmm. So The luck on the missile count drops very critical in getting some of the best times possible, but there are ways to farm them.
Yep. We have just picked up our second unknown item. Chat, if you want to guess what that unknown item is, you're more than welcome to. I'm going to go ahead and take the refill here, and we are going to have the most interesting Ridley boss fight strat ever. Also, speaking of which, hi Ridley!
I love how this one had, or this version of Metroid has a bunch of little animations and cutscenes.
It's so much fun. Unfortunately, I did tink one of my super missiles against a fireball, so it took more missiles for me to finish off Ridley. And he did not drop me any super missiles, so we are going to have to do a little bit of farming.
Some unlucky drops.
With that being said, if we have any other messages to share as I am making my way out of Ridley, I am going to pick up my third E-Tank in this room, but otherwise, take it away, host.
Of course, of course. I like to let everybody know that Extra Life brings together thousands of gamers around the world to play in support of their local Children's Miracle Network hospital. Since its inception in 2008, Extra Life has raised over $100 million for sick and injured kids. Last year, Slurpathon specifically raised $2,451.13, which is a lot of money that goes in as unrestricted funds for them. It helps them out a lot. And of course, we've still got a good collection of incentives to go through as well. We are looking to try to unlock the hard mode for and all bosses for Axiom Verge 1, as well as a silly little sea shanty that's going to be sung in Inscription if we can reach $50. And Castlevania Order of Ecclesia is looking for $100 to unlock the hard Randall Logic.
Alright. What you just saw there with the little ball cannons was another developer-intended shortcut. Normally, you need to have Speed Booster from earlier in the game, and you do this little long segment that leads you to the screw attack, but we skip Speed Booster, so we don't have that. Thankfully, they put in that nice little shortcut there to get us back into the main part of Norfair. We're going to take a slight detour here. Nice super drop, by the way. And pick up our high jump boots. This will actually speed things up later in the game, along with, giving our high jump and spring ball.
High jump improves the velocity of the kind of initial jumps, the short hops, and it makes space jumps a lot easier. Getting space jump without the high jump is torture.
It is. It's having tried it before. It's not particularly fun. Alright, so with that, we now basically need to trek our way back up to Brinstar and then head over to Crate and take Crate out. I would like to have a little bit higher missile count, but not a big deal. Nice needle thread. You can thread the needle between those rippers and just wall jump your way up out of there as long as you have high jump, and you don't have to freeze them with the ice beam.
That goes to the small room optimizations that I was talking about. Part of it is luck, part of it is execution, and it's always a pleasure to watch.
Alright, so here I'm going to start holding my charges. Whoop. Mainly so that I could, spin attack enemies if they got in the way.
I love that you can get a fake spin attack by holding charge. It's such a cool little feature.
It's nice, and it's a thing that they've had since Super Metroid. Since Super Metroid was what actually introduced the charge beam. Alright, so we're coming up into Kraid's lair. Now there is a big skip that I'm going to need to actually concentrate on a little bit. So I will go ahead and let Matsudano explain Acid Worm Skip.
So the acid worm skip, it does what it says on the tin. It skips the acid worm. And the way this is going to be done, there's kind of there's a handful of ways to do it, but it saves about 2 minutes if you get it on the first try. And the objective here is to try to blast through these first 2 blocks and then time a couple of bomb jumps onto grabbing the ledge into perfect execution. Bingo. You don't even need me to explain it. You just got to see for yourself.
First try acid worm skip. Funny enough, my current PB has failed that trick first try. With some optimizations later on in the run. So we possibly, not to jinx it, after we just grabbed our third unknown item, but not to possibly jinx it, but we could be on PB pace.
If you fail that acid worm skip, because you only really get 1 try, you either have to reset the room, which is going all the way back and then exiting and then entering again, or you have to do an extremely difficult set of horizontal bomb jumps, which, again, aforementioned torture. It is an extremely difficult trick to nail that way.
I'm sending you all of my energy for this to be a PB.
We will find out. All right, and one thing, do me a favor, chat. Everybody say, hi, Kraid!
Hi, Kraid!
Hi, Kraid!
Bye, Kraid.
Hi, Kraid. Bye, Kraid.
And I say that is much faster than Super Metroid's Kraid quick kill.
I didn't even realize that he died. That was so fast.
Yeah, he takes 3 super missiles to kill. Like, normally you don't have super missiles for this fight. But if you do Ridley first and you just have super missiles, you can take them out in 3 supers. Which is why I needed to do that farming after Ridley.
Here we go with the speed booster, where probably one of my favorite items in all of the video games. This is really where, when I talk about that skill ceiling, this is where it really gets to open up.
Speaking of which, we're going to do a really nice long shine spark in this next room here, because I don't have the zip lines turned on. Part of doing the acid worm is to turn on the zip lines that help you travel around Kraid's lair. Oh, got touched by the bugs. That's fine though. But skipping that means you have to get a little bit more creative with getting yourself out of Kraid's lair. That being said, we are now out of Kraid's lair. Both bosses are done, and we are going to make our way into Torian to take on the Mother Brain. Hello? Again. Thank you. So with that, while we are climbing Bryn Star and heading to Torian, do we have any more messages?
I can definitely talk about some other things, or just simply remind everybody about Slurpathon once again. Letting you all know that Slurpathon is raising money for Extra Life, which raises funds for the Children's Miracle Network hospitals. Proceeds go to the Alberta Children's Hospital Foundation. I do have a question for you. What's your... I assume this one's up there, considering you run it, but aside from this one, what's your favorite Metroid game?
So my favorite Metroid games are actually, my favorite Metroid games of all time are a tie between Zero Mission and Metroid Prime.
Very nice. And what about indie games that are inspired by Metroid games?
So funny enough, Axiom Verge 1 was one of those games that really scratched my Metroid itch before Dread got announced. It's a fantastic indie game. Speaking of Metroids, oh look, Metroids.
It's a baby. It's a bean.
In my Metroid game?
Look at them. So many.
They're so cute.
Ah!
I love them.
So does that mean
Spoopy.
you want donations? If you were to see a donation, you would want it to go to the Axiom Verge incentive.
Oh, absolutely. It's a fantastic game. And, more Metroidvania games, all over that.
So let's talk for a minute about these Metroids. To kill them, it takes 5 regular missiles or 1 super missile, and one of the things you're going to see Metroidmaster do is sort of balance out which ones he's using to actually kill the Metroids. Never wants to get down to 0 on the super missiles, but just wants to. It's obviously faster to use the supers as opposed to the regular missiles, but it's a little bit of a balancing act here.
I also do not want to get grabbed. As I do not have the various suit, I'm still taking a ton of damage if I get hit.
It's one full E-tank per hit, per touch, per Metroid hug.
Any Metroid hug is going to deal massive damage to me, and it's also going to affect the drops that I'll get as well. This, again, goes with the managing health and ammunition and what the drop system prioritizes.
Yeah, so really want to stay at full health here.
Do I want to push my luck? I'll push it slightly.
Right, because you need all those missiles to be able to effectively take out the Metroid. But if you take any damage, then you're going to get more health, which means you're not getting the missiles you need to take out the Metroids.
Yep, and less chance of me getting super drops as well.
It's Metroid math. The next game in the Metroid series.
I'm sold. I'll buy it. I'll buy 10 copies.
Excellent. Alright, so that being said, I have 37 missiles, 2 supers, so I will need to get at least 1 super drop when I farm. I am now entering Mother Brain's room. I am actually going to only destroy 2 of these Zebatites, and then go back and farm back to full health and missiles. There is a Zebitite skip that I still have not quite learned. Good super drops. Now I just need to get my missile drops. These little green Cheerio looking things, they are not Applejacks, they're called Rinkas. The green ones are guaranteed drops, the red ones not so much. Alright, I am now back at full health and missiles. Let's go ahead and fight Mother Brain.
You got this.
Right, so first thing we're going to do here is we're going to break this wide open. And once this is open, there will be a little bit of a safe spot to sort of hide out and do some damage when the damage can be done. Obviously have to avoid these red guys and these bullets and the big old laser that Mother Brain is shooting out.
And Mother Brain is down. I'm actually running against Mother Brain's corpse as she explodes to build Speed Booster, which lets me Shine Spark about halfway up this shaft here, and then we're just going to go ahead and wall jump the rest of the way up.
And I think it's because you explained this to me before, but it's because like Mother Brain isn't a wall; it actually pushes you back.
Yeah.
And that way you can sort of keep going to gain speed.
Yes.
And I think I heard that Crate also works the same way, but getting Speed Booster before Crate is
Darn impossible. Yeah. All right, and we have made it to the ship. That's the end of the game, right?
And we are at nowhere near time yet. We still have the second half.
Why is the timer still going?
The timer's still going because we are about to get into the zero part of Zero Mission.
So yes, this is where the where NES Metroid would end. However, Samus does a thing. She decides to remove her suit because we think we're done. But oh no, we're getting chased. The space pirates are still after us. We're getting shot at. We juke him.
This is the equivalent of like you clock out of work, but then your boss sends you a text at like 5 p.m. on a Friday, and you're like, "Oh no, production is down. I gotta go back." Except you also lose your power suit.
The boss is like, "I'm gonna need you to go ahead and come in tomorrow. And if you could just go ahead and come in on Sunday, that'd be great." 5 points to anyone who gets that reference. So yeah, we are shot down. We do not have our suit. All we have is this emergency pistol that can stun space pirates at a fully charged shot. Zero Suit Samus moves a little bit different and only slightly different from Samus in the suit, and it's her jump height is between that of Samus's regular jump and high jump. And now we find Metroid can indeed crawl.
Metroid can crawl!
Metroid can crawl!
And now we come to the big run validation spot here. That will be the map skip. And the run is validated. Let's go.
Map skip. How much time does that save? About 10 seconds?
I think 10-15 seconds RTA, but does nothing to your IGT because IGT works a little differently. Do you want to explain how suitless section works?
I can try. So a lot of the suitless section here, because Samus is is power armorless. Want to say take like a full chunk of damage, a full E-tank of damage every time you get a hug or a hit from a space pirate. So a lot of it is going to be evading these tripwires, evading these spotlights. We kind of turn into a stealth side-scrolling kind of game.
Speaking of which, nice tripwire skip there.
Big tripwire skip. The only time you can really affect the space pirates is with a fully charged shot from the pistol, which only stuns them. Anything else just kind of bounces off of them.
Yep. Also, the space pirates will react to how you move. So if you move about the same every time, the space pirates will also move about the same time. So it's a fairly consistent section of the game if you know what you're doing. Another developer intended skip there. Skips a couple sections of the ooh, nice ledge grab there. Didn't get seen, thankfully. I was attempting to do a little jump extend there to land directly on the platform, but did not quite get it. Time to dodge some searchlights here. We're gonna wait just for a minute for that opening, and we're through.
The hitboxes for those spotlights, I think, are dead center, so you can. There is a little bit of wiggle room there, but you know, in the name of playing it safe, because getting chased by pirates is not a fun time.
Yeah, they tend to try to lock you into some rooms as well. Another jump extend here. And we're going to have another developer-intended shortcut. This one I actually did not know about until I started running this game. And that would be it. Funny enough, if you get seen there, but you take that shortcut, it actually resets the alarm. Or deactivates it for you, so you don't have to worry about getting spotted here. There's a little pirate here. I'm just going to make him mad by shooting at him, but it doesn't set off an alarm, so we're fine. He just squawks at you.
He's kind of chill. He's that coworker you want on a Sunday.
And then just after the save room is a scary wall jump. If I fail this, I get spotted if I do not reset the room. Thankfully, we got a first try.
A lot more of these kind of small room optimizations here. The movement is, because the movement with Zero Suit Samus is a little bit different, you do have to get used to kind of two physics here when you're going from suited Samus to unsuited Samus. This section looks scarier than it is, but it is definitely kind of spooky looking. It really blew my mind the first time I saw it, when you had to crawl over those crumble blocks.
Mm-hmm. I did take an intentional alert here, but mainly because I can reset that. Oh, hey, look, power bombs. I can reset that alert status by ducking into this save room here that's hidden off to the side. Hey, where'd the power bombs go?
Bring me my power bombs.
Oh,
fun
you
fact,
jerk! You stole it.
That pirate, you cannot touch them. They are part of the background.
Take another intentional alert here. Oh. Drop the wall jump. All right, gonna shoot this one. Wait a moment for my charge to get back up there. If you try to go a little too fast, sometimes you don't get enough charge time. It's a little iffy on how that bar works. So sometimes you just wait a little bit just to get enough charge to stun that next pirate before you move on. Otherwise, you just kind of run right into him, get bodied, and you take massive damage, which we don't want to take. Oh, he's about to... Whoa, that was a close call.
This is an excellent example of Metroid being a survival horror kind of game. There is nothing you can do to these pirates except for run away.
You could say it's Metal Gear. Alright, now we get another cutscene where we get to see wee Babby Samus before a boss fight, so if we have any quick messages, go for it.
I can definitely let everybody know that any funds raised to go to the Alberta Children's Hospital as unrestricted funds, this means the hospital decides where and how to spend the money to ensure the dollars raised to make the biggest impact possible. We still have a lot of incentives that have yet to be met, such as the hard mode and all bosses for Axiom Verge 1. You brought that up a little bit ago. Would love to see that incentive be met. Anybody in chat, we greatly encourage and would welcome any donations towards that. As well as Inscription, Saint of Sea Shanty, and Order of Ecclesia's Hard Rando Logic.
All right. Matsudana, would you like to explain Charlie?
Sure. So this is a finger quote boss that the community has dubbed as Charlie. The boss is going to kind of move around the room, and then when the sigil is shown, Metroidmaster is going to want to shoot it. The only real attack that is any sort of threat is these lightning bolts that come down, and if you're not continuously moving, the lightning bolts do come down. Also, Charlie tends to move faster the longer the fight goes on, and so you really want these sigils to come up as quickly as possible. And there we go, we finally got the last one.
And I did not get the silly glitch, unfortunately.
No Charlie glitch.
Anyway, Sailor Senshi, transform!
Now you are fully powered. Fully. All of the power.
Fully. I have shoulder pads now.
Shoulder pads. We still don't have anything that we didn't collect, but all the things that were unknown items are now known items.
So,
like plasma, gravity, and space jump.
So now not only do I have shoulder pads, I am now Urple. And now we get to take our revenge.
We all love a good Urple.
We also all love a good revenge tour. This is you showed up to work on a Sunday, and then you saved the day, and then you coming back on a Monday, and you're like, yeah, I did that. I fixed that. I saved the day, but they still won't give you a promotion.
As, you know, they do. That being said, someone in the chat did say, yeah, we totally collected that Varia. No, we skipped Varia, but the game gives it to you with your gravity suit so that you can't just go back, pick up Varia suit again, and overwrite your gravity suit by accident. It was something the developers knew may or may not happen. In this room here, I'm going to try to get a speed booster. I have to mash pretty fast, so I actually have to swap how I hold my controller so that I can mash fast enough. I do not mash fast with my thumb, but I mash faster with index finger for whatever reason.
Skipping all the rest of the savings. We are closing in on the final encounter, final boss, the final leg. We're in the home stretch here.
You get this very lovely vertical shine spark. Now, please, thank you. We have some dark pirates here, and atomics, no snipe. Wow, the real snipes here. I think I got sniped by that atomic off screen too. And we're gonna
What's the
jump.
difference?
The black pirates, I think, have how much more health do they have than the red pirates?
They have a lot more health and they cannot be frozen.
That's what it is.
They're already really cool dudes.
They are
You can't make them cooler.
they are very armored. I think they're actually called like metal pirates or something like that. But yeah, they, unlike the regular space pirates here, they cannot be frozen. And now we have R2-D2, or the trash bots, whatever you like to call them. Hit them with missiles to move them faster. And excuse me, pardon me, coming through. Excuse me, coming through. Charge here, let it go as soon as I leave the door, and hey, the alarm's done.
you can do. This is one of those sections where you can bomb. If you bomb continuously, it takes a little bit longer, but you can back out and take a shot at the regular destructible block, and that saves a handful of frames of that section too.
If I could interject for a brief moment, Toffee has donated a $180 donation.
Hey.
Reads,
Woo!
some of my rando friends put bounties for bad decisions, so shall it be done. 80 for Axiom Verge hard mode and 100 for... It stops there. But that means both the Axiom Verge incentives have been met.
Let's
Yes.
go.
You love to see it.
All right, we are coming up on the final boss of the game, the Mecha Ridley. We call him Iron Ted, and he really needs some WD-40. As you can hear, he really needs that WD-40. That being said, this fight is fairly simple. I need him to swipe at me as soon as possible, and then short hop super missile, like a Fox player. And I've synced one, that's fine. I can back it up. There we go. Mecha Ridley is dead. We can leave, right? That's it?
We can.
I
Well,
can't-
it's
Uh-oh.
Where's
Uh-oh.
this? Not,
Time bomb set, get out fast!
Oh, get out fast! So another classic hallmark of these Metroid games.
Yeah.
These time segments of escaping, and because you are fully powered, you should make short work of most of this section.
Yep.
All of this section.
So, to actually talk about something that was shown in chat. So, Ted actually only powers up at 100%. If you are below 100%, he actually does not get the powered up form.
What a value. 2 escape sequences in one game. Buy one, get one.
All right, now we're
I
going to set up
honestly-
for a really nice speed booster loop.
I honestly love the escape sequences to end Metroids because it's such a, especially in speedrunning sense, it's such a great way to like finalize everything you've learned, and it's like, all right, you figured everything out, now get out of here in this time limit.
Shoot. Well, I have unfortunately lost my speed booster.
That pirate took it away.
Yeah, I goofed on a segment, unfortunately. So that means we will not get the PB.
That speed booster section is I think you go through 3 rooms if you get to
Yeah.
and yeah, it's a hat trick. It's a beauty to watch. We didn't get it there, but there's we just going through the normal way. You could still do things to optimize your movement. We've got this one last or 2 last pirates coming up. We do have time shortly.
We're coming up on time as soon as I jump in the ship here, and time.
Nice. I feel partially to blame for you not getting PB. That's so close. How close was it?
Oh gosh. I got a 41:43. I think I was about 30 odd seconds behind my PB.
That's so close.
Like,
I mean, in a marathon run, that is incredibly impressive, though.
That's a really great time, especially without the Zebetite skip.
yeah. So basically the big goof what cost me that speed booster was I was supposed to jump up one more set of platforms before trying to restart my Shine Spark, and I kind of forgore.
We all forgore every now and then.
Yeah. Do we
It
have
was still a great run.
Do we have enough
really,
time
really good.
for credits and to get our in-game time?
It would. I feel. Yeah. I would. I feel like we've got a few moments, Tech, as far as I can see.
All right, cool. So, I guess quick shout outs to the Metroid Zero Mission community and everyone in there that has taught me a lot of the tricks and stuff to this run. We do have a Discord for Metroid Zero Mission if you are interested in learning it. There's also another Discord for Metroid Fusion. The two communities tend to overlap a lot. We do also have a randomizer for Metroid Zero Mission, and I believe Archipelago has a beta for a Metroid Zero Mission multi-world as well. So definitely feel free to check those out. You check out our community. We're always happy to help newer runners. Shout outs to Mazzodano for agreeing to BS commentary with me at the last minute. You were
Much
fantastic.
Appreciated. It's a good time.
Shout outs to our host for also being awesome, and shout outs to you chat for also being awesome with the awesome donations. If we have any other messages from our lovely hosts, go for it.
I would like to say that we did find out where the rest of that 100 went to. It was going towards ensuring the hard rando logic for Castlevania Order of Ecclesia, so
Ooh.
all we've got left is the $50 for the inscription Sing a Sea Shanty. Chat, I really want to see this happen. If we could see $50 show up. We got lots of time though, but I mean, it won't stop me from being happy just to see it happen. I want to sing a sea shanty with everybody. Let's see that in-game time.
Let's see what we get. First, we get treated to this really lovely graffiti here on Charlie. How did we not see that before? Aw, isn't that cute? All right, let's see
It's adorable.
that ending and in-game time. All right, we got Suitless, so we are sub 2 hours in-game time.
We somehow got sub 2 hours? Oh, wow.
29:19. That is a pretty darn good IGT with 27%
fantastic.
item completion. All right, so that was Metroid Zero Mission Any Percent Normal. This is metroidmaster signing off. I will see you all next mission.
And everybody stay tuned as we have plenty more speedruns to come. Coming up next, Zanuck will be running Axiom Verge 2 with all urns. So let's look forward to that, and we'll be right back.